Chiefs three-peat falls way short. ESPN continues with their identity politics, plus my rankings of the best Super Bowl commercials. Like, comment, and subscribe on the OutKick YouTube page. Well, I opened today's show very, very sad, and not just because my broadcast partner, Jonathan Hutton, is out sick today. Hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. We'll play it day by day, but we're all day by day, right? I'm very sad because we're not going to have football for a very, very long time now. We're not going to have football until week 0 of the college football season, somewhere overseas. That is a long way away, and we're not going to have football for a while because the Eagles dismantled the Chiefs in the Super Bowl last night, final game of the season, and boy, oh boy, was it an impressive beatdown. The Kansas City Chiefs ran into an absolute buzzsaw from the Philadelphia Eagles. I did not see it coming. I picked the Chiefs to win it 28-24 because I thought in a close game, the Chiefs, who had won 17 straight one-score games, would find a way to get the job done. The one caveat that I wasn't thinking about at the time was, well, what if it's not a close game? What if it's an absolute blowout? And that's what it was with the Eagles. And a big part of that blowout, certainly the dominance of the defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, but also some very consistent and steady play from Jalen Hurts, their quarterback, who won the MVP of the Super Bowl, and he played well. Deserving Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts, which brings us to this post by ESPN. Black excellence. Jalen Hurts joins Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Doug Williams as the only black QBs to win a Super Bowl. So, Jalen Hurts, yet another black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. We applaud him. Deserving champion. Terrific story. Got benched at halftime of a national championship game at Alabama for Tua Tagovailoa. Comes back, goes to Oklahoma, has a nice stint there. Goes to the NFL, got his team to a Super Bowl before, and didn't play bad in that game, but lost. And played well last night and won in a second attempt. Hats off, bravo to Jalen Hurts. But ESPN just had to take it there. They just had to go down the lane of identity politics one more time, which prompted our very own Clay Travis to post the following in response to what ESPN said. Can we get a white excellence tweet of Cooper DeJean during his Super Bowl pick 6 at ESPN? If not, why not? This constant identity politics bullshit is overwhelmingly rejected by sports fans of all races. It's why your brand has become such garbage. I just don't understand why ESPN continues to go back into this whole thing. Because every time I think, they're figuring it out. They're moving away from it. It's way more about sports now. Then they do something like this, which just doesn't make any sense. And I look at it almost as a diss at Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm thinking about the history of quarterbacks in the NFL, and specifically the history of black quarterbacks. And I got to be honest, I didn't think for once that there were two black quarterbacks going head-to-head in this game because they're both very good. And Patrick Mahomes is on pace to maybe be the greatest of all time. It wasn't something I thought about until this after the game. And I'm thinking, it's now we're going to talk about the fifth quarterback, black quarterback to win it. At what number does it stop? At what number does it not become as unique? Clay brings up a great point. You want to know about something unique? A white cornerback playing at all in the NFL, much less a white cornerback returning a touchdown after an interception. Now, this is tongue-in-cheek. I certainly don't want any white excellence tweets by anybody, whether it be at ESPN or OutKick or Yahoo Sports or Pornhub.com posting. I don't want to hear anything about white excellence either. But it all needs to end. Who cares? White, black. The Eagles dominated the game. Jalen Hurts, worthy champion. Did very well in this game. Great story. As I said before, benched before, came back, lost a Super Bowl. Won a Super Bowl with far and away the best team in the NFL. And after last night, that is very clear. The Philadelphia Eagles, best team in the NFL. May not have been that close, quite frankly. That game certainly was not close. But this is the lane we choose to go down once again with ESPN. I don't get it. It's a mistake. No one cares about this anymore. I don't know what audience you think you're playing to. I'm going down and looking at the responses to that post, and it's overwhelmingly negative. Again, I don't know who you're trying to serve with that. I really don't. What's the target audience? I don't get it. I don't understand why ESPN continues to do that. So that's a bummer that we open with. Here's another bummer. That Super Bowl last night. It was not good. And wasn't not good because the Chiefs just simply lost the game. It was terrible because it was clear very early in that game that the Chiefs could not block the Eagles. Patrick Mahomes looked hurt. Ankle looked bad. Didn't look like he could move. He was physically unable to work the magic we've seen before with him. So the combination of the two, we got the worst game since. Well, let's go back a little bit. Probably the last time Patrick Mahomes got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl by Tom Brady a few years back. That 31-9 beatdown by Tampa Bay. We've had some good Super Bowls from that point on. But, man, when Patrick Mahomes gets whipped in a Super Bowl, he goes down hard. There's not close losses here. They're getting destroyed in this game. And when you look at the dominance of that Eagles defensive line, now the last time they got dominated, Tampa had 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. Last night, 6 sacks for the Eagles, 2 interceptions, and he was hit 11 times. No blitzes. Not one blitz from the Philadelphia Eagles. Quote from Xavier Worthy. They played really good up front and really good on the back end, and we just couldn't figure it out. That from Xavier Worthy. That's pretty well said. I mean, start to finish, it never felt like it was going to be a game. Well, maybe there was an inkling there when they called that BS offensive pass interference on A.J. Brown, which I thought was ridiculous. And there were some ridiculous calls that didn't go the way of the Chiefs also. But I thought, okay, maybe you get a quick stop, you come back, you go down and score, and this is going to be a game. That was not the case. 34-0 before the Chiefs scored their first points of the game. And I'm guessing Taylor Swift wasn't happy about any of this, with her man Travis Kelce being blanketed, with her Chiefs being destroyed in this game. I wouldn't know because Fox showed her, I think, one time, maybe twice the whole game. Didn't really get to see Taylor Swift that much if you're watching on television. But in-house at the Caesars Superdome, they sure did go out of their way to show Taylor Swift. And this is what happened when they showed Taylor Swift. I mean, hats off to Eagles fans. They booed Santa Claus, and now they've booed someone that's way more popular as Santa Claus to every woman age 15 to 35 in the United States. That is a bold move for even the Eagles fans. They boo guys or cheer when guys get carted off on a stretcher. Taylor Swift got carted off on a stretcher there with all the Eagles fans in attendance. By the way, down in New Orleans last week, just walking the streets, so many Eagles fans. Not surprised in the least that they took over that stadium. The Chiefs, 3rd straight Super Bowl. Eventually your money runs out. You can't go to every game, those that want to travel for the Super Bowl. So I get why they didn't have as big of a contingent. But I was mightily impressed with all things Eagles fans throughout the week in terms of how they showed up. Now, do I love Philly? Do I love their fans? No. It's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to see the Chiefs pull off history and pull off the three-peat. But then when I see them boo Taylor Swift, I'm not a Taylor Swift hater. I'm fine with Taylor Swift. But when I hear that level of commitment, that you're going to boo the biggest pop star on the planet because she is dating the adversary in that game, and not just boo, but very audibly boo inside that stadium, I got to kind of tip my hat to Eagles fans and say, that's well done. Job well done, Eagles.